On this episode of Public Scrutiny, we'll be taking a quick look at three news stories. Prince Andrew refuses a promotion to protect the Queen, President Trump celebrates his long overdue acquittal, and the EU is on alert as a report warns of bankruptcies across the bloc. Firstly, Prince Andrew has agreed to turn down a senior Navy role following the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. He has declined a promotion to the rank of Admiral for the sake of the Queen. He was due to be promoted before his 60th birthday, but is turning it down to protect the Queen from fallout over the Epstein trafficking scandal. Following the decision by His Royal Highness to step back from public duties for the foreseeable future, the Duke of York has asked the Ministry of Defence if this promotion might be deferred until such time that His Royal Highness returns to public duty, which I doubt is going to be happening any time soon. But Palace and Defence officials suggested the promotion, which has to be approved by the Queen, could yet be resurrected in future if he clears his name. Of course they would say that though, otherwise they'd be damning him while he's being investigated. The last I heard regarding that investigation was that Andrew was not being cooperative, which could mean that he's singing like a canary. This is the latest humiliation for Andrew, which follows the cancellation of a planned birthday reception for all his patronages after he was forced to stand down from representing them. It also follows uproar yesterday over plans to fly Union flags on government buildings and town halls to mark Andrew's birthday after critics branded a reminder circular sent to local authorities as crass and offensive. It seems a lot of people are only too happy to vent their displeasure at His Royal Highness. One thing that unites people right up and down the social ladder is that nobody likes a child molester. The Department of Culture, Media and Sport will be advising councils that there's no requirement to fly flags on February the 19th following the decision by the Duke of York to step back from public duties for the foreseeable future. Liverpool Mayor Joe Anderson said, "When you look at his behaviour, it wouldn't be appropriate for us to mark his birthday." Obviously he's not waiting for the FBI and has decided already that Andrew's guilty. Andrew stepped down from public life in November after the fallout from a disastrous interview with the BBC's Newsnight. He was accused of showing a lack of empathy for Epstein's victims and of failing to show regret over his friendship with the disgraced financier. And that's about it for that story. And now you're going to have to imagine the fanfare for this. Donald J. Trump acquitted. It's been a long time coming. Trump celebrates impeachment acquittal and blasts rivals. US President Donald J. Trump has taken a victory lap one day after his impeachment acquittal in a White House tirade against his political enemies. "I've done things wrong in my life, I will admit, but this is what the end result is," he said as he held up a newspaper headlined, "Trump acquitted." "We went through hell unfairly. We did nothing wrong," he said at the White House. "It was evil. It was corrupt." And it was. It was a sham right from the start. The Dems decided that they were going to throw everything they had at Trump every single day. They exhausted every trick and scam they could think of in order to get rid of Trump. And at the end of it, they've got nothing, which is pretty much what they started with. And Trump's still standing there. Impressive further still is that Trump's achieved a massive amount as president while all this has been going on. Like, the worst they can do to him is only an inconvenience, but he's still got the job done. It's the floating voters that will kill the Dems, those who decide who to vote for at each election. I think they knew in advance what would happen at the 2020 elections if they failed to stop Trump. People would turn against them, and that's exactly what I think is going to happen this year. Trump continued, "Now we have that gorgeous word. I never thought that it would sound so good," Mr. Trump said from the East Room, which was crammed with supporters and cabinet officials. "It's called total acquittal." Mr. Trump also used a swear word to describe the department inquiry into whether his 2016 election campaign had colluded with the Kremlin. "It was all bullshit," he said. "This should never happen to another president ever." Like many others, I do wonder when the hammer's going to be dropped on the Democrats. It is they who have abused the system. Everything they have wrongly accused Trump of doing, they have done, and a lot more besides. This isn't just politics. They've been caught in the act, so to speak, and a lot of people are expecting justice. And finally, EU on alert as report warns of bankruptcies across bloc. Ireland at risk. The end of the EU transition period at the end of the year is set to have detrimental consequences for EU member states, according to a report by insurance company Atradius, which is based in Amsterdam. The company warned that EU economies will suffer because of Brexit and highlights those most at risk as being export-orientated countries such as Ireland, Belgium and the Netherlands. The spokesman said Brexit is expected to cause most bankruptcies in the manufacturing and automotive industries, as these industries are the engines of exports. It comes after Dominic Raab arrived in Australia on Thursday as the Foreign Secretary confirmed the UK will be looking to agree one of its more high-profile free trade deals. Mr. Raab said, "We've recommitted today to launch negotiations on an ambitious free trade agreement between our countries as soon as possible. Australia would hopefully be part of that first wave of high priority deals that we're pursuing." And that's always been the truth, folks. We don't need the EU. Or rather, they have always needed us far more than we do them. I'm starting to feel like we're actually leaving. You can tell. If you're still facing the thing that you're supposed to be leaving, then you're not really leaving, are you? And, as I scan further down this article, I see the BBC has been accused of Brexit bias as the broadcaster has drafted in hardcore Remainers for their panel on tonight's Question Time. Not a single Leave supporter taking part in the debate. You know, a great leap is often comprised of a great many smaller steps. Our journey continues. The work is still not yet done, but we will get there, I promise. And with that, I'll end this video there. Thanks a lot for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, you can subscribe. Till next time, I'll catch you later.